I'm going to talk about this petition that I saw. The petition is about implementing safe haven baby boxes in the UK. The petition is started by Toyon Umala, and she experienced being abandoned, which is why she's trying to implement this box service in the UK. I'll read the article that was included for this petition. She wrote, I was abandoned as a newborn on July 26, 2001. After my mother has given birth to me at home, she left me outside her flat where 2 dog walkers found me wrapped in a denim jacket. I was taken to hospital and thankfully I was in perfect condition. After 4 months in care, I was adopted by a Nigerian parents whom I have lived with ever since. Not every newborn is this lucky. Let's take a pause and think about what would cause a mother to give birth to a child and then leave it outside. Heartbreaking to hear of these things happening. This was a newborn baby. Anything could have happened. It could have been an animal that would come and bite it, eat it. It could have just been, the world is crazy right now. They could have just used that child's organs for other stuff. People could have used that child, if you believe in black magic, for sacrifice. So there's millions of things that could have happened to this new baby. There are perverts out there. Someone could have molested that child. Anything could have happened to that child. I can't cast judgment. I don't know this mother that left their child out. I cannot sit here and judge when I've not gone through that or that have been put in that circumstance. So I'm not casting judgment. I'm just saying, let's think about that. Let's think about the situation happening in a society where, especially in the West, where I think there are so many resources that someone could get to help them navigate in this. Why would someone resort to throwing a baby out like it's a garbage? Is it that we have little concern for human life? Is it just people are just so detached of themselves? Or is it just that morality and values in society has just tarnished that someone could do something like this? Or is it just economy has been so bad that this is the only way? I don't believe that's the case, to be honest, because then if you're lucky enough to live somewhere like in the UK, which this article is written in, there are so many resources that women can get that they wouldn't resort to this. Again, it's not coming from a place of judgment. I'm just trying to understand. And if there's anyone out there that has gone through this, please teach me, help me to understand that something like this could happen to a newborn baby. But positive thing about this is that she was lucky enough to meet someone that can adopt her. There are so many children that would go through the foster care system just because there is not possible to get anyone to adopt them. So she was very fortunate, and I'm glad that she is now standing up and advocating on the behalf of the unspoken, on the behalf of newborn children. I applaud her for taking a step. I applaud her for using her story to kind of wake up. Even though I might not agree to some of the article or need for this to be what we're asking for in society. Why are we asking for boxes to be available for children to be placed in? How about we target other areas of life to prevent this from happening, prevent this from being what we are asking and petitioning for? But I applaud her. She's taken a step. There's a lot of people that have not done that. And I'll continue reading the article. And it's about, then there are so many resources you could get benefit. So on Friday, 19 January 2024, a newborn baby was found in a shopping bag, wrapped in a towel by a dog walker in Newham. So this is another baby being found, wrapped in a bag in the shopping centre. So another baby being abandoned. So now she's given reason why she thinks that a baby box should be implemented. She writes, in the United States, safe haven baby baskets have been implemented across various states with great success. What does that mean? Again, it isn't a correlation that just because it's successful does not mean that less babies are left. It's basically saying that because these boxes are there now, more babies have been taken and looked after, right? This is not stopping the cause of babies being abandoned. It's just creating an avenue for them to be collected. We should look at parents. We should find ways to support parents, right? We should find ways to tackle mental health. I cannot express this enough. I feel like the biggest injustice right now is the neglect of mental health. Now, mental health is a trend. Mental health is an identity. Instead of giving help to people that are dying for it, literally some people are dying because of how severe their mental health is, I feel like we've gotten to the point where society is so accepting that it's actually endangering the lives of people. And that's when I stand and I'm saying no. We need to support new and expecting mothers by offering them mental health. I agree with you 100%. Mental health support and advice in safe spaces which can help reduce the number of women making the painful decision to abandon their newborn babies. This is painful. Acting as the devil's advocate, even if someone is wicked, I cannot imagine what it would do to a mother to not just put her child for adoption, that's a separate situation, leave her child outside all kind of elements. The UK is cold. What is denim jacket going to do when the weather is 4 or 5 degrees? Denim jacket is not going to do anything. For a mother to go through the pain of childbirth, right? How many bones have to break for you to birth that child? And then for you to just leave that child out in the elements, out in the world, what would cause someone to go to that extreme? That's the question I'm asking. I'm genuinely curious and I want to learn. It's normalizing this. I feel like that's what we're doing as a generation right now. We're just normalizing everything. This should not be normal. It shouldn't be a service of 24/7 where you just give birth to a child and give it away as if nothing matters. No. It shouldn't be this easy for people. I honestly believe that this is coming from a really kind place. Understand that this is coming from a genuine care. I have respect for her, but this is not the answer to have baby services 24/7 where people can just give birth and dump it. Where is the responsibility? There are so many other ways. She could have put that child for adoption, could have left it at the hospital if she gave birth in the hospital. She could have given it to a family member. She could have taken the baby to church. There are church services still. There are a million other ways that someone could give away their child without having to leave it out in the street for anyone to be. Let's not normalize this. I'm trying to space for conversation to create it because or a baby when it's 30 weeks old. Some even more than that. I'm not going to get into that. That's a separate video. She wrote, it's providing support for those who feel they have no other options left. Don't let anyone lie to you. Don't let the devil deceive you. Don't let your mind play on you. There are options left. There are places that are worst. I don't want to be that person that always uses Africa for the worst, but there are places in Africa that's worst and you don't see people just chucking away their babies and asking whatever to pick it up. I don't want to make this video too political, but let's look at what's going on between Israel and Palestine. I don't normally talk about this because there's too complexity that goes into the war that's happening in Palestine that people are making it out to be. So I don't want to go into that too much. But even with the wars going on, people are fighting for their babies. You see people protesting saying babies are being killed. Babies are being killed right here. Babies are being neglected right here. There is a war on babies right here, right where we are. It doesn't take you going to another country. It doesn't take you fighting wars through your screen for you to fight a war. Start fighting a war where you are right now. What's happening to babies is not okay. Why should a baby be chucked in a box for someone else to collect? We need to say that there is time for people's responsibility. No, it's not okay. The difference is, I'm not saying this is the only time people are neglecting and giving away their children. No. Back in the days, there were situations as well where people would give away their babies, but it was done more humane. I know a situation where it was an interracial relationship. We all know that it wasn't the case that interracial relationship or marriages were allowed. So back in the day when that was illegal, when a white woman get pregnant by a black man, what they would typically do is give that baby away. It doesn't ruin the family. It doesn't ruin reputations. But even in that situation, it was done a bit more humane. They would take the baby to church. They would take the baby to an orphanage. They would leave the baby at an institution's doorstep. They would do other things that's more humane than just chucking a baby at a shopping center, or just leaving a baby outside, or just living at the park. If there's no thoughts that has gone into that, that is a sacred life. That is a baby. The woman that wrote this article, she was once that baby that was left out, and now she's a woman advocating for this. When you're looking at a baby, you're not just seeing a baby, you're seeing a potential generation. I know there's more to go into this that I probably cannot comprehend, I probably cannot understand unless I'm on your shoes, unless I'm running your life. But what I'm saying is we need to take responsibility. If it's mental health, I've been there. I've been depressed. Sometimes I sit down, I stand up, I look all shiny, but trust me, I've gone through things. And I'm saying, if you need help, you need to stand up and ask for that help. You can't just sit down and let life dive you deep into the ground. You need to stand up and advocate for yourself. The government can do so much. Organizations can do so much. But only you can reach you because you know where your pain point is. Only you can reach you because you know your story. You were there from the beginning. Only you can reach you because no matter how much people can pull you up, they've got their baggage on their back that they need to lift away from. They cannot be there all the time. You need to take responsibility. Okay, you may have that baby with a trash man. You need to take responsibility. It's not even doing justice to how I feel when I see stuff like that, especially when I see babies, innocent children are involved in this careless situation that people are putting them through. People, this is generational. Nothing just happens out of nowhere. That's why I try to not blame people. I try so hard to not victimize people, and I try so hard to not be judgmental to people because I know life is not black and white. I know sometimes things happen that's not your fault just because of generational things that has happened before you even came to existence. For example, a child that's abandoned growing up, if she's not as lucky as this woman that wrote that article, that wrote the petition, how is her future gonna look like? Imagine I then stand up and blame that child for a decision they make when they're like out their 20s or old, an adult. How can I blame them when this is the beginning they got? The point I'm making is that we need to take a stand and we need to try our level best to fight the war where we are. And the war that we're going through right now is the war against life, is the war against the innocent, is the war against babies, is the war against fetuses. The most dangerous, the biggest battle that's going around right now is the battle in the womb. So many babies are either being killed. It's quick for people to be like, oh, babies are being killed in Palestine, babies are being killed in Israel. But how about the babies that are being killed next door? The answer is not to have boxes located somewhere as if this is an Amazon Prime locker box. No, you did the most miraculous thing that no one could do, and you gave birth. It seems so easy because it seems like everyone and their grandparents are having babies. It seems like everyone is having babies, but that's not the case for a couple that's been searching and wanting a baby for what seems like a lifetime. There are people out there that can adopt children that you don't want. But at least give the baby some dignity. Don't let this story be the baby's story. That, oh, I was abandoned. That's not the story we want for a child. Let me just conclude to this. I respect her for writing this article, this petition. And I like the fact that she highlighted what else needs to be done, which is support women with mental health and have provisions that can prevent women from getting to this extreme. I respect her, and I like the fact that she's advocating for this because this is a step. If she didn't write this, maybe this wouldn't have pushed me to the extent where I'm here making a video about it. Another thing I'm raising is that women need to take accountability. I know there are certain men out there that are trash. Yes, I use the word trash, garbage. But you're becoming an incubate for those men produce a life. And women, I'm sorry, like we are saying men need to take accountability. Yes, they do. But we have most of the burden because it's our body. We've housed that child for 9 months. We connect to it more than this men can. So you need to take stronger steps and protect you, protect your body, protect your reproduction. That's what true feminism is controlling who can come inside of you and who you can lay down with and who you can give birth for. And the fourth thing is that this is not the solution. The solution is not creating many boxes like McDonald's takeaway where babies can be dumped and then an alarm system will come and collect it. Yeah, this is not the solution. The solution is prevention, mental health. It's creating better systems. It's understanding the reason why, unfortunately, it results to this. I'm not saying we can tackle this today. I'm not saying I have all the solutions. I'm just saying I want us to discuss this, and I want this to be, when someone hears this, I want them to be shocked. I don't want them to be like, oh yeah, I'm not surprised. I don't want that to be the reaction when you hear a petition for a box to be made so that people can just put their babies in there guilt-free, knowing that someone else will come and collect it, so it will be someone else's responsibility. This is not okay. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I apologize for just ranting. It's not about positivity. It's just to open our eyes to what's going on. Yes, there's a war going on in Israel and in Palestine. Yes, there's a war going on in other places in the world, but I beg you, fight the war at home first.